Why'd you elbow me in the back, Kevin?
I know, I felt so bad.
Hey, Kevin, you got any guts? Jerk.
Huh. That's a new move.
You got no guts. You didn't know. They sat there and the reporter said it right there. What kind of chicken move is that? You're pathetic, man.
Well, that is an audio recording courtesy of NPR of Tennessee, Congressman Tim Burchett accusing former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy of elbowing him in the back in the hallway of the Capitol. Following the alleged incident, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz made an ethics complaint against McCarthy, saying, quote, "I myself have been a victim of outrageous conduct on the House floor as well, but nothing like an open public assault on a member committed by another member. The rot starts at the top," said Gaetz. Burchett and Gaetz are two of the 8 House Republicans who sided with all Democrats to oust Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker after McCarthy led the House in passing a short-term spending bill in September. Now, this past Tuesday, under the leadership of new House Speaker Congressman Mike Johnson, the House passed yet another short-term spending bill with virtually the same voting result as the one McCarthy had that led him to losing the gavel. The Wall Street Journal editorial board wrote on Wednesday, "Meet the new Speaker, same as the old Speaker." Joining me right now in this Sunday Morning Futures exclusive is former Speaker of the House, Congressman Kevin McCarthy. Mr. Speaker, great to have you this morning. Thanks very much for being here.
Thank you, Maria.
Did you elbow Tim Burchett in the ribs or in the back?
No, not at all. This is a narrow hallway. We were in a conference with 200 people. You've got the press all standing there, walking out, talking to other members. And just don't take my word for it. Take to the members who were next to me and behind me. If anybody got bumped, it was not intentional. It's just a crowded hallway where everybody's walking out at one time. And so, no, it's nobody got punched. Nobody got hit. Some people want to make press out of nothing, but that's exactly what transpired.
So you think he's just making it up then?
No. Look, if somebody got bumped because of a narrow hallway, it happens all the time. It was not intentional. I know no one got punched in the process. You could talk to the members who were behind me, around me, and everywhere else. So.
Let me ask you a question about the business at hand right here, Speaker McCarthy, because I know that last week, it got heated on the floor. Also, we have some sound from Chip Roy. I want to play that for you and get your reaction to the business today in the House. Watch.
One thing. I want my Republican colleagues to give me one thing, one, that I can go campaign on and say we did. One. Anybody sitting in the complex, if you want to come down to the floor and come explain to me one material, meaningful, significant thing the Republican majority has done besides, well, I guess it's not as bad as the Democrats.
What do you say? What do you say, Congressman McCarthy?
Well,
what are the Republicans doing right now? Yeah.
I wish I was there because I would have gone to the floor and I would have told Chip a number of things. We cut $2 trillion. We got work requirements. We got reform to NEPA, something we haven't done in 40 years. We stopped any IRS new agents from being hired this year and $20 billion going into the future. You know what else we transpired? We made bills actually have to come through committee. We made sure that members had to show up to go to work. We passed the Parents' Bill of Rights. We passed a bill that makes us energy independent. We passed the most conservative border security bill that we've ever done in the process. It's actually, if you took it up to August, the report was between this Congress and when the Democrats had the majority in the last Congress, in the Senate and the White House, we had more bills passed. We had more bills signed into law, one of the most productive Congresses. And so,
yes,
you know, unfortunately, there are a few members that have stopped us from being able to pass appropriation bills. There are some members that seem they want to be in the minority instead of being the majority. But this Congress has taken on, from a border security, from accountability in government and oversight, from we stopped the pandemic. We've made sure those in the military didn't get kicked out because they didn't want to take the vaccine based upon their own religious beliefs. There are a number of things, and holding this White House accountable. I would have gone on the floor to say exactly what we've done week after week after week.
Yeah, it's a great point. You also created a path for an impeachment inquiry, given the evidence that you were able to uncover on all the money that the Biden family has taken in, and you created a commission to study China. communist China, and created a group to look at the weaponization of government. I want to get your take on where this impeachment inquiry is now.
Yeah, but you made two good points here. You remember what the Select Committee on China just did on a Chinese lab in the central California? We just did the investigation where the CDC did not. They had Ebola and others inside this lab. We've looked at going after the farmland that the Chinese have been buying around our bases. But you raised a good point. No one in America would have known that President Biden has lied, that they did receive money from China, that he did get involved in the business dealings. When he went to Cafe Milano, his son got a new Porsche and $3 million were sent to him. We have systematically followed every place the facts have taken us each and every day. And now it's moved even closer because now we've got the subpoenas going in to get the bank statements. We found all of this, the shell companies no one knew about prior. This is important. So week after week, holding government accountable, speaking up for parents with a Parents' Bill of Rights, securing our border, what the Democrats continue to fight us on, making us energy independent, spending $2 trillion, the largest cut in American history, work requirements, something the Democrats said was a red line, ending the pandemic. Remember when the Democrats in D.C. tried to decriminalize, when the president said he'd even veto it and 170-some Democrats voted against it? We put that into law. So we're holding government accountable, making our economy stronger, and actually securing and rebuilding our military. We added to the spending in our military that is needed and actually standing up for China, creating a select committee on China.
Well, you've been very strong. The people want more. You know that. They want more than committees. And I want to ask you about January 6th, because the videos of January 6th are being released. You started it. You created a portal to come out with the videos. Now Mike Johnson has started to release more from the camera footage. Have you watched the tapes? Tell me what you can say about that horrible day from those videos that you watched.
Well, it was a horrible day. And the one thing I had found is we wanted transparency. So when we took the majority, first thing I did was make sure those tapes become under the responsibility of House administration. What we found was January 6th committee had lied to us, that there was thousands more hours of tape. And the first thing I wanted to make sure is anybody who was in jail had the right to a defense was able to see those tapes. So that was the priority. The defense was able to go through those. We started bringing press in to be able to see it. We were building a portal where every time the press looked at something and they went through it, the public was able to get it. And that's Barry Loudermilk has done a tremendous job, Congressman from Georgia, walking through this. Remember, they accused him of something that's not true, the January 6th committee, and the tapes actually proved that it was not true, that he wasn't giving tours inside, and that's really what drove this. And more tapes are going forward, and the speaker is Johnson's doing a tremendous job with that, adding more and more, but there's 44,000 hours of this, so you've got to go through, as you put it, all out.
Speaker, I want to be real specific. There are questions regarding FBI informants that were in Trump clothing around the Capitol on that day, throughout the crowd. Do you have any insights for us regarding their role in those events, the FBI's role?
I personally don't. That's the committee. I would make sure to go look at that and see all that, and we'd get more information. I know the director of the FBI has been asked this question numerous times. Thomas Massey is one who's been working on this, and I think he'd have greater insight for you.
And real quick, on the money that you're giving out, a total of $3 million to lawmakers, state parties, the NRCC, you're still doling out cash for the GOP, correct?
Yeah, the one thing I know, it took us a long time to build this majority. I think the next election is even better for Republicans than the last two. And remember, we have won in both cycles where all the other Republicans have lost. So I'm providing another $3 million this month. I know I'm not Speaker anymore, but this is too important to keep this majority. We have Democrats now retiring. Kildee, you had in Michigan. You've got Spanberger in Virginia. You've got redistricting in North Carolina. There has never been a better time for Republicans to gain seats, especially when you look at Biden's numbers. His numbers have never been so low. And remember, when Biden won with 82 million votes, it was the first time since 1994 not one Republican incumbent lost. We beat more than double digits of Democrats, and we could even have our biggest election this cycle. And I want to make sure I'm a part of not just having won 2 majorities, but growing this majority even stronger. I'm going to continue to do my part.
How has your life changed now with the new speaker? Do you think that you're going to be able to get these appropriations bills done in this two-laddered approach that Mike Johnson has come up with?
Well, I think Johnson was very smart about making sure keeping our troops paid, especially in the Mediterranean where they are right now. Unfortunately, we had a number of members doing the exact same thing they did before, of stopping bills from moving forward. We're going to have to come together. We do know this is really driven, as you know, and you've had in this show, Matt Gaetz' ethics complaint. I think once that ethics complaint comes forward, he could have the same problem as Santos has, and I think the conference would be probably better united to be able to move forward and get this all done.
Speaker, good to have you this morning. Thank you, sir. Congressman Kevin McCarthy.
Thank you.